So I never went in, you know, to legally contest that sign. It probably should be because they plow it. The neighbor usually plows it before the town gets to it. You know, they usually wait till last, but they do come up here and they salt it, all that. So.
And then is there anything, I know you're the owner, but is there anything that you didn't pull a permit for that you should have pulled a permit for that
No,
you've done?
this has all been
This is all
permitted.
okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, and this, it was actually one reason I bought this house, because the, this foundation footprint was here.
Yeah,
And so I didn't have to get approval. I could do it as a repair, pull a repair permit.
nice.
See, I told you the basement's the best part of the house.
Yes, this one
I was
definitely
joking.
is.
We've been down here
Well,
more than the rest of the
it
house.
This one,
It was for me because I had a woodworking shop down here in conjunction with my carpentry. I do a lot of, like I build antique doors, you know, matched antique doors. And then my
Nice.
hobby is clock building, so I build lots
Nice.
of clocks. And the children have their little
Oh,
painting
yeah.
projects. So.
I still have a beautiful. I intend to turn to an heirloom. It's an Omega nickel, solid nickel timepiece.
Okay,
Open up the back and see the gearworks and all.
okay,
So
yeah,
I got that from
So
Clockwise Time in the Midwest.
okay,
Good stuff.
yeah. Is that a, they sell, do they sell clock parts? Yeah, it seems like that name's familiar to me.
They did have parts, but I don't know if they were available for the public, just for
Okay.
the old timer who was working the place. And
Yeah,
he was getting up in age and he wasn't particularly interested in being nice to older people, only to kids.
okay.
But it had a porcelain face and the rest of it. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting.
nice.
Yeah, so this has got a, as far as the electrical, this is the sub panel. So it's
Okay.
got a 200 amp service
Nice.
with a panel over there, and then this is the sub panel for
Yeah.
the basement and this side of the house. So my brother, who's an electrician, did all that.
Excellent.
So if you like, just say tomorrow or Monday, you just literally take this off the market, when his wife comes home, if this is like on their, still on their list,
Yeah.
will you let us back in to see
Oh,
it
absolutely.
before you do all
Yeah,
the? Okay.
yeah, that's no problem. It's just that if I start doing some construction work, I don't want to have
Yeah.
you know lots of people calling me
Exactly.
and say I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know I've had it on long enough now that
Right,
you know the time is against me.
Right.
You know, you look at the days in the market and you're like, why is it
Right.
still in the market?
Yeah.
So I think basically where I am, I was hoping not to have to do a whole lot. I put it on beginning of May, which was about 3 weeks after that crazy stuff where anything
very
was selling.
crazy.
But I'm finding that I'm sort of falling maybe between buyer types. So probably a little high for a lower end buyer,
Right,
and a higher end buyer would want some more things done.
exactly.
And so that's why we've been looking at that. My father's been in the contracting business, and he's 66 now, and he's been in it since he's 18. So he's helping me do
That's awesome.
get some ideas and do
Indeed.
some more things around here. So, but it's if you wanted something that was done well, what's done, and you don't mind doing some more things, I'm open to an offer like that. But
Exactly.
there's a lot of people want to finish product when they're buying a house. So if I do all the things that I mentioned, obviously it would come on considerably higher than what it is now.
Of course. Yeah.
So yeah, always have that option to. I have another person that's we're negotiating with, but he has not given me a written offer. So he says he's seriously interested, but I haven't seen the written offer yet. So
Wow.
that's where I am with it. But
Okay.
it's not that I wouldn't show it. I just wouldn't have it on MLS.
Right. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Okay.
Excellent.
Do you have any questions?
Is there any part of the house that we should see that we haven't yet? I know we kind of saw from over here the place over there.
We can go down in that basement.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Kevin,
People-
excuse me,
Yes.
I got my husband, and he's like, oh, he has to pee. Is it all right if I just check on him and see if he has to, okay.
No problem.
He's a realtor too, but I sort of dragged him along when he chose to sit in the car.
Yeah.
How far back does the land actually go?
So just behind that shed is the stone wall,
Okay.
and that's the back limit from these trees over
Mhm.
here. That's approximately the property line.
Was it surveyed by an engineer, or is it?
I never had it surveyed.
Because
there's
you
a
weren't too
stake
close to the land to worry about it.
There, well, it was private financing that I got for this, so
Oh.
I wasn't all that worried about it. But that metal stake by that small stump
Uh-huh.
has been the agreed upon line for a while.
Okay. Very nice.
But it, yeah, probably should be surveyed. And then that line of trees over there
Yeah.
would be just on the side of the fence.
And it drops off. Is there water back there? Like a creek or something?
Yeah, it's a wet. There's actually a gas line back there.
Oh,
There
nice.
won't ever be anything built there.
Mm.
But yeah, that's wet down in that area. This like in that corner where those weeds are,
Yeah,
that drops off. That's wet down there.
yeah.
But this is actually pretty dry right here.
Yeah, it is.
And,
It's a high ground.
And the hump in the middle here would be where the septic is,
Okay. All right.
which probably would maybe extend that taper out a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
make it a little more gradual.
And so this doesn't have the typical vent that I see in some of them, or does it? And I just didn't see
No,
it.
it doesn't. I'm not exactly sure why. Not all of them do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the newer ones all do. I'm not that familiar with installing septics myself,
Mm-hmm.
but it never did have a vent, and that was 2001, so it would have been within the Title V
Yeah.
construction.
But you were definitely talking about putting a deck in the middle here, maybe, or
Yes.
or at least talk. I know normally they run about it, depending on who's putting them in, a few thousand.
Yeah,
Can be.
I was gonna do it to match the rest in the front with all the maintenance free.
Yeah.
So this area is just a little over 16 feet between the two sides of the building, and then from that wall out would be. This is about 19 feet, so
Yep.
I was going to keep it back about 3 feet and have the stairs basically fall within the line of these two buildings, some wide stairs leading to the.
That makes sense.
the,
Plus, it also finish off the space here.
Yeah, I mean that's just those actually were temporary steps that my brother-in-law put in.
Well,
Yeah,
and there's your exhaust for the fireplace,
pellets,
or the pot belly.
pellet stove. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a wood pellet. Okay.
That wood pellet, yeah.
Nice.
That's that is just supplementary heat, but
Mhm.
we actually use that as the primary heat in that side of the house, because when I did this is 2x6 construction, and it has blown in cellulose in the walls, plus 1-inch foam board on the outside.
You got
totally
R21 in
taped
there
up.
then?
Yeah,
Nice.
and well, it's actually R20, like R26
Wow.
on the wall assembly, and then the ceiling, I went above code with that. I have about 14 inches of cellulose up there, so it's right around R60 in the ceiling.
Good Lord. Put
So
this in Alaska.
that, well, you know
Almost.
what? It was to go from R50 to R60 in the ceiling. While I had the people here, it was an extra $200.
Oh, you can't be.
You pay for fuel every year. You
Yeah.
pay for insulation once. So that pellet stove, literally, even when it was 0, we ran it for about an hour and a half in the morning and an hour and a half in the evening, and I kept it in the upper 60s, around 70.
Wow.
So really, and it was kind of a family spot to have that.
Yeah.
But the radiance, maintenance free. You just turn it on. It's
Basically.
on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's take another look on the. We were going to look at something I think that you wanted to show me.
I
But I
we
kind
were
of.
going to go in the other basement.
Oh yeah, yeah. How are the neighbors?
Pardon?
How are the neighbors? Are they cranky people? They're always like, "Yeah, somebody over there."
No, they're actually all friendly. Across the street, he's been here since 2004. He's a state trooper, so usually no one comes up here unless they have a reason to, because it's a dead end street. So you know, if he wonders, hey, what's going on? You know, what's up? You know? So he keeps track of things. The two at the end of the street, their children are all grown up and off to college, but they've, like I said, they've been there since 1987, so they've been on good terms with both
Nice
of
and
those.
quiet out here.
Yeah.
That's
It
for
is.
sure. Kevin, this is my husband, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
He's also an agent.
Nice to meet you, mate.
So there's another attic access.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
part
good.
of
Look at that.
the house.
All right. I like those pull downs. They make me much happier.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Nice stairs.
So this side is kind of as it was built.
Yep.
No one has ever been able to get inside the heads of the people who originally built this. It's interesting. They didn't mind different levels and all that.
Yeah.
It would be a significant cost to dig this down.
Yeah.
You know, over there I didn't have any structure over top of it, so there was actually a floor there when I bought it, but that was all rotten. I ripped that away. So I could reach in with an excavator and dig it out. This, would be a lot of groundhog work. But this we just basically use this for storage. We had a freezer down here, or an extra refrigerator, some things like that. But if you ever wanted finished space or a workshop, that the other half would be your way to go.
For sure, for sure. I love how the sink over here just kind of drops down.
Yeah, it's just a sump pump hole. It's just a place to wash out my brushes and things like that.
So I figured that this was part of the house that's not intended for much more than to put things, but even here it's dry enough to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like a wet dirt floor. You know, and like when these people did the foundation themselves, they hand laid it. Why? You tell me. We'll both know then.
Wow.
It's just,
Whenever I see it like this, I always imagine that they found ledge and they didn't want to try to bust it out, so they just went ahead and poured over it. That's why they did similar levels.
I know one thing. When my brother-in-law, these stairs came down at a different place over there, or I forget where they came down. But when he bought this house, he completely reconfigured it, because this room upstairs, that's the kitchen and dining area, I think it was about 4 different rooms. Just strange. Anyway, so I've been associated with this house since 2001 because I helped him do a lot of the work, and so there was a huge boulder right here.
Whoa.
And we spent a couple of days in here with a jackhammer and a drill, and we broke it apart, literally almost by hand.
Wow.
Like all those drill holes. So I do know that there was that there, and that's why this is that height. So, and I'm guessing, see right here, under the stairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's some of that. So
wow.
I'm sure you're right. That's why I don't think I want to take it out.
It's amazing they were able to get the septic in here with all that going on. And then back there's the boiler you were talking about, the oil fired, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
And the septic is right out there.
Wow. Okay.
That's what it is.
Excellent, excellent.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you.
So do you have children?
Oh, like the neighbors around the house. We're going to change the locks.
Okay. So you get sneaky when they get older and they move back in.
No, they don't. Not if you lock the doors. and if you have a state trooper across the street. Oh my goodness. Exactly. But they look like you. No, they don't.
The last name's spelled different.
Exactly. Extra E in there somewhere.
So all the exterior and interior on this side of the house is new. The only thing that was left when my brother-in-law was done was the framing.
So this here is cedar or something? Or?
That's actually vinyl,
Really?
but it's cedar.
It's very cool.
Yeah. Got mixed. Well, you have clearly vinyl over here, but it doesn't even look like it here.
He did that on the front to kind of dress it up.
Yeah.
And I
I like the
continued
little
that.
octagon window too.
That actually is original. I think that's the only original piece in the house.
Only need one, right?
Right.
But this is what this front deck is what happens when you have